Everybody, Jake, your resident content cowboy here. Yeehaw! It's Monday. On Mondays, we do tier lists, and on Wednesdays, we wear pink. And I don't have a little video to clip in right here, but I'll just say on Wednesdays, we wear pink.
Triple kill. You're welcome.
All right, let's take a look at our tier list here. I'm going to get a little music going on, so there'll be something in the background, so it's not just me blabbing. And I am live right now, so we'll be able to get some thoughts from the chat as we're going. Let's see. All right. Triple kill.
Triple kill. You're welcome.
That's the new best sounder of all time. We're taking a look at our tier list from the Speedster meta that was unbelievably crazy, but this meta still is very Speedster heavy, right? We had some changes to the game. Let me read off some of the changes here. In fact, I'll just pop on over to UniteDB while I have you here, and we can take a look at the exact changes on the recent patch. So, Gary got some buffs, Leafeon got some buffs, Zeraora got some buffs a patch ago that they kind of like did without telling us. They also buffed Wild Charge. Pikachu got buffs. Comfey got buffs to Sweet Kiss. Greninja got some of the most confusing buff nerfs of all time. Psyduck nerfed, Suicune nerfed, Aegislash, one of the weirder nerfs in my opinion, and Cinderace also secretly got some buffs recently to give it more, to give it not more, but to give it defense penetration, right? Also, I should talk about the previous patch here, which is ripping away stats from Talonflame, Absol, Meowscarada, Gengar, and Snorlax, who all kind of got these like weird stat buffs. Meowscarada also had Unstoppable on its Unite move. So there were a few changes in between last tier list and this tier list. And now here we are. So this is not going to be called the Speedster tier anymore. It'll go back to our S tier. Our tiers for this week, we have our God tier, where we're only going to have one Pokemon. We're not freaking Norse around here. We've got our S tier. These Pokemon are all speedsters, and they're going to be better than most. We have our A+ tier. These things are great, often not banned also, which is nice. A tier, really solid picks in the meta. B+, I think these things are pretty good, more niche. B tier. Forgot that was about to happen. Still got the B tier. We've got the C tier, our Charizard tier, and we've got our D tier, the Decidueye Memorial tier.
Triple kill. You're welcome.
So let's take a look at our tier list. Where to begin? You know what? I'll start from the bottom, I think. We started from the bottom, and now we're here. At the bottom, in the Decidueye Memorial tier. I'm not moving Rapidash out of our bottom spot. I think Rapidash is the worst thing in the game. It's awful. I think this Pokemon is just awful. I can't believe how hard they nerfed it. I think it's so disappointing that they nerfed it this hard, but I really do think Rapidash is the worst thing going in the game right now. As far as our Charizard tier, I think Decidueye, honestly, a lot of the attackers do run into problems with all the speedsters running rampant right now. Decidueye, with any kind of team, any kind of anything blocking you, is actually pretty dang good. Without it, it just feels like you're getting farmed all game because, like, seriously, I mean, these speedsters are playing Stardew Valley right now in the meta. I don't think I really need to move Decidueye here. Solo, for sure. Coordinated, I could move this up maybe to B+, because, like, it's still quite powerful coordinated, but solo, this thing is just a mess, man. T-Tar is a weird one. This is the same thing I said as last week, and not much has changed in my opinion of T-Tar. T-Tar is not necessarily bad, but man, when speedsters just get so much damage, burst, and all this stuff, and it takes T-Tar like 8 million years to get online, it's probably better than this, but I'm going to leave it in our Charizard tier. Sylveon, Azumarill, these are fine. I think B tier is a fair place for them. They have like some good points and some drawbacks. Yeah, T-Tar just takes too much time, I agree. It is good though. Once it gets online, it is good. But yeah, I feel like Azumarill, good early, falls off a little late. I love playing it. I have some really fun games with it. Sylveon is kind of like that as well. Pretty good early. The only thing that's tough with Sylveon is I feel like it doesn't have that big of an impact in some of the later moments. T-Tar is the number 7 win rate. Yeah, but isn't it like a 0 pick rate? Let me pull it up here. Isn't its pick rate like nothing? Let's see. Its pick rate is 5%, so it's extremely low. Almost no one's playing it. But when they do play it, they're having a good time. So, you know, do what you will with that information. Phalanx, I actually think is probably better than the B tier. I still think they need to buff this Pokemon for all of its other builds except beat up Ironhead, which is actually pretty good. I'll move it to the B+ tier. Machamp is fine. It's fine. It's probably better than this. Mewtwo is fine. Like, here's the thing. We need something separating these Pokemon. B and B+. They're very, very close. A lot of the times I like to think, would I like to have this Pokemon on my team? And that can kind of help me decide where I would want them placed on my tier list. And honestly, the answer is no, not really. Mewtwo X is just, I think more than anything, it's just super boring. Which is probably one of the reasons we don't see it more, right? You think T-Tar is better than Mewtwo X? I don't know. It's hard because it kind of is, but T-Tar struggles way more early. I actually think Mewtwo X is not even that bad. I just think it's very boring. I really do think that's what's going on with it. I don't even think it's that bad. I mean, Tyranitar, if you were to say like Tyranitar hung out in this category, I'd say fine. That's fine with me. Cram is okay, you know. It's all right. Has its moments. Venusaur is okay. Feels like middle of the road right now. Really punished by speedsters. Dragapult and Duraludon, I think as soon as they get the Cinder buffs, they're going to be pretty scary. Both of them. Candle's all right. It's an okay mage. Really punished by some of the speedier Pokemon. Again, like any of these mages with no mobility, it just feels like you can't put them too high because the meta is infested with speedsters right now, and they just rip through these things. Armarouge is actually maybe a little better than these, if I'm being honest, in this particular meta. I could see people saying Armarouge is not as good as these other Pokemon, but in this meta, I think it plays better into the speedsters than these other ones. It has a little bit of mobility in its kit. It's a little bulkier with like Fire Spin and stuff like that. I could move Armarouge up to our B+ here. And then Delphox and Gardevoir, good mages. They do a decent amount of damage, but again, super punished. Up into our next tier, our B+. I like Goodra, I like Crustle, I like Lapras. I think they're all pretty good defenders, and this is a spot for pretty good defenders. I think that's very fair. Sableye. Sableye is good. Annoying. This is a fair place for it. Same with Clefable. Clefable, I feel like gets burst down pretty fast right now. If the meta was a little slower, I think Clefable gets more value, but we talked about Phalanx, Lucario, Water Bear. I think these are good in the right hands. Super high skill Pokemon for the most part. Scizor is okay. It's okay. It's not terrible, but it's not amazing. I kind of like it the least out of a lot of these, if I'm being honest. Let's see. Dragonite, I think, is still very good in the right hands, especially with Hyper Beam. It's just like, it's a build that always exists, but I don't think it's anything like crazy to write home about. It has good secure though, so it's always going to do decently well. Char is actually pretty good and doesn't play too bad into the speedsters because you can chase them down with Flare Blitz. You can play at range with Flamethrower, Flamethrower, and not Fire Blast. What's the name of the move I'm thinking of? Oh, no, it is Fire Blast, isn't it? Flare Blitz is the other one. Yeah, Flamethrower, Fire Blast. And its Unite move is actually pretty dang good into squishy targets that want to dive it. We've got Scyther. It's fine. It's good. It's like the worst speedster probably, but it's okay. Let's see. Double crit stun Char is okay in this meta. Double crit. You're running a Razor Claw on it, huh? We've got Cinderace. I'm going to move Cinderace up into the A tier, actually. I think the buffs for Cinderace are pretty nice, and all these auto attackers slowly getting these buffs will be very interesting. Alola Ninetales, I think B+ is a fair place for it. I think it is a little stronger than some of these other mages because it's good into dive, but I don't think it's that amazing into some of the speedsters. Moving into our A tier, we've got Mime, Wiggly. These are two supporters. Solid tanks, pretty dang good. Always nice to have a solid tank on your team. I like them both. Slowbro is maybe even better in this meta. It might even be... It might even be A+. Slowbro's pretty good in this meta. I might move it up. Because anything that's like can shut down something diving and being kind of crazy, I think is pretty nuts. Let's see. We've got a Blastoise. Blastoise is all right. I think A is pretty reasonable for it. It might even be closer to B+. I thought it was gonna... The nice thing about this is it's so versatile, but I do feel like it kind of, in my brain, hangs out with some of these other defenders right here. Like, they're all pretty dang good. Let's see. Greedent is still probably A, but it's like very rarely played. Ho-Oh, I think, is actually... It's doing all right, but I would have expected it to do better in this meta. I'm not gonna lie. I think even it gets burst down really fast against these speedsters, which makes it hard to do its revive, you know? I still think it's quite good, and I think the buffs they gave it a while back were really, really good. Ceruledge, I think, is pretty good. Metagross, I think, is actually very good. It might even be A+. I think Metagross is really good right now. Tink is... I don't really love Tink, I have to be honest. I don't know how its win rate's doing. What's Tink up to lately? Just curious. Feels like it's kind of not amazing right now, but let's see where you're at, Tink. Yeah, it's at 50%. It's about where I would assume it would be. Ceruledge seems right now. I don't know. I feel like Ceruledge actually bursts a lot better. It like keeps up with things. It has a move to kind of get it out of danger in some big ways. Like Phantom Force is huge. Like you could just avoid so much damage with it. I could hear an argument that maybe it's closer to B+ right now. Oh, and I didn't talk about Gary. Gary did get buffed, and maybe that actually pushes Gary up into the A tier. I didn't feel like the Gary buffs were as sizable as I thought they would be. Maybe that's just me, but I actually was kind of surprised that Gyarados felt roughly the same. It's still good. I think it's a good Pokemon, and I think in the hands of a strong Gary player, they could have a lot of fun with it. But I thought it was fine. I was like, okay, that seemed fine to me. Let's see. We've got Mr. Punchy, Dark Bear. I still think is extremely good. One of the best secures in the game. Zarina is still quite good. Zoroark. We have Zoroark and Zoroark. We have Leafeon and Dodrio. So I would say from playing all the speedsters, I feel like Zeraora's buffs are actually really strong. When I first played the buffs, I was like, oh, these are pretty good. But Zeraora, I think, yeah, I don't know. I think it's really strong right now. At first, I was like, oh, this is good. Like, this is either A+ or S for me. It's really strong. It might not be enough for S. Maybe it's like high A+, like really, really good. I don't know. It just feels so powerful, dude. I'll have to think. Let me think a little more on that and think of how I rated to the other speedsters. I think Zoroark is still incredibly good. As soon as Zoroark, let's keep Zoroark and Dodrio kind of up in our... These are either in the A or A+ tier. It kind of depends on the other speedsters. I think once Zoroark and Dodrio get the defense penetration buffs, it's fully over. I don't know what... what are they going to do? Dodrio and Zoroark are the best speedsters in the game, I think. Just not right now because all the other ones have been buffed. But dude, you buff Dodrio and Zoroark's defense penetration. What a nightmare world. I don't even... Yeah, that's going to be crazy. Also, with the 2 new items coming out, they feel like fully set up for speedsters to just dominate everything, which is going to be really crazy. Anyway, I'll keep Dodrio and Zoroark in the A tier. I think Darkrai kind of hangs out in the A tier here too. I do think it's good, but I don't think it's like unbelievably amazing right now. It's I think it's pretty good. Dodrio is probably still... Well, Dodrio and Zoroark might still be close to A+. The thing is, no one's really playing them because all the other speedsters are nuts. Now we have Leafeon. Leafeon is S tier, in my opinion. One of the best in the game. I think its buffs are wild. And once again, I do think S is just kind of for Speedster here this week. They're not what they were, but I think Leafeon is crazy good. Now, I was talking about this earlier on stream. I actually think Leafeon requires more skill than people give it credit for. Like, I think Leafeon is harder to play than a lot of the other speedsters, truthfully. Not all of them, like some are quite difficult, but I think to be a really good Leafeon, you dominate, but I don't see too many really good Leafeons, so... but yeah, I'm going to put it up into our S tier. I think it's crazy good. Glaceon, really good. A tier for sure. Mew, same thing. Pikachu got buffs. I'm going to move Pikachu to our A+ tier. It's kind of hanging out in this area with Espeon for me right now, which I think is very fair. Greninja, I don't even know what to say. I don't know. I don't... They gave it like 200 HP and then nerfed its healing on Water Shuriken. I still think Gren is really good, but that was one of the most confusing changes I've ever seen. I don't even understand it. All right, moving up to our A+ tier. Comfey. Comfey definitely sits in our A+ tier. It's probably even S tier, honestly, right now. Whenever something's broken, Comfey is there. And it's just a disgusting combination. I wish they would delete it from the game, but they never will. Because they want something for like duos to like cringe, to like make everyone else cringe over. Hoopa is still incredibly good. Eldegoss still incredibly good. Definitely hanging out in our A+ tier. We have our attackers: Inteleon, Miraidon, Pika, Espeon, and Mewtwo-Y. I think these are all really good attackers right now. Really, really good. Justice for Comfey. Comfey lovers unite, says the chat. Oh my gosh. Ban that, man! We see... I think Mewtwo-Y actually is crazy good. It's so dang good. So difficult to deal with. It even plays well into a lot of these speedsters. Both Pikachu and Espeon, not too bad into the dive. Miraidon plays really well into it as well with its Electro Drift. And then you have Inteleon that's just so dang powerful. All right. Metagross, Buzzwole, Blaziken, Zacian, Mimikyu, Garchomp, Sword. All really, really solid all-rounders. I wonder if the nerfs to Sword maybe knock it down a peg. This might be a little premature, but they did nerf Wide Guard here. I think everything else is doing pretty good. Garchomp feels not as relevant. Like, I don't see it as much, but I do think Garchomp is still really good. I think it's still really good. All the others, I think, are pretty fairly placed. These are all amazing Pokemon. Buzzwole requires a lot of skill, but it's so good. Metagross actually fights so well into a lot of the meta. Drop Zacian. Dude, Zacian wins. Zacian just wins games. It is a game winner. I don't think you can drop Zacian. I think it's actually like consistently insanely good. I can't drop it out of the A+ tier. I think it's a really, really good all-rounder. Defenders, we have Slowbro, Mamoswine, Tree. I think this is all still about where I'd place them. I think that's very fair. We just moved Slowbro up. These defenders are crazy good. Yeah. Into our S tier, we have Blissey, Psyduck for supporters. The Psyduck nerfs, I mean, there are definitely some questions, but I think they're great. All supporters are really good. There's not a bad supporter in the game. But I think Psyduck is still great, and Blissey is just crazy. Actually, Blissey, I feel like, did lose like a hair of value because things get blown up kind of before you can Bliss Assistance. But I still think Blissey's an insanely powerful supporter, one of the best things in the game. We have our defender in the S tier, Umbreon. This doesn't change for me. I think Umbreon is amazing, so dang good. Support, defender, it does everything. It does a little bit of everything, and it gets its moves at 4. It gets its Unite at 8. Umbreon's crazy good. All these speedsters are legit great. Gengar is maybe the one that I think got hurt most by the nerfs, but I think all these speedsters are legit great. I'm curious, did any of them like really get hammered in win rate? Not that this like makes a huge difference because it's only certain games being played here. Meowscarada is still one of the top win rates. Gengar's still over 50, Talon's over 50, Absol's. I mean, all these speedsters are crazy. It might shift around a little bit this week. I'm interested to see what happens here, especially once people find out about what's going on with Zoroark, right? Zeraora, sorry. Zoroark did not get the emergency, like, secret buffs. All these speedsters are really good right now. Leafeon might be king of the castle here in Speedster Land. That's still to be seen. I'm not sure. It might be the best one. It might be. I think Talon and Absol. Like, I don't know, man. It's hard to order these. They're so good. In our God tier last week, we had Snorlax and we had Suicune. We were freaking Norse around here. I am going to move Snorlax down. While I think it's incredible, it's going to hang out in our S tier. I think it's one of the best things in the game, but I don't know if it's God tier anymore. And for me, the God tier remains Suicune. It does. I'll have to see what happens with the nerfs. Maybe it's going to really hurt it. It did not feel like that to me. I still think the stun and slow and the freeze, like all the crazy things this provides, I do think it's probably the best Pokemon in the game. Like if I'm looking at this tier list, right? What I would want to do, I'm trying to think of like what I would want to ban. And for me, I would ban Suicune first. If I'm like first banning, I would want Suicune banned every game. Next ban for me, I would happily see any of these speedsters banned, and then honestly, I wouldn't even mind Comfey banned. Because if you could only ban so many Pokemon, right? There's like 18 speedsters that are now crazy. So with this, like if you ban even these top 3 right here, Gengar, Meowscarada, Snorlax, these are all still getting through with Zeraora, which would be insane. So yeah, for my money, I'm banning Suicune. I'm also banning some Speedster that I'm kind of worried about. Those are kind of like my big bans for sure. And that's where I think the meta kind of shakes out right now. We'll have to see what happens. We'll see how the win rates kind of adjust, and we'll see what they do with the next patch. Also, the other thing to keep in mind is when these new items drop, truly like if you think these speedsters are good now, the moment these new items drop, which are, do I still have it up here? Which was the the Excel Bracer and the Drive Lens. When these 2 new items drop, I think it's going to be even better for these speedsters. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, everybody. Depending on when you watch this, obviously not you guys live in the chat, but I might be in Japan. We will be there at the end of the week casting ACL. I hope to see you in the chat. It's going to be freaking amazing. So thank you guys so much for checking out what I do, always supporting the content. I really do appreciate it. Whether you're smashing like, commenting, hitting that notification bell, sharing the videos, or just turning the videos on and running around town showing it to people, I really do appreciate it. Thanks, guys. I love you. I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye. We did it.